Hi, ladies and dudes, and welcome back. Let's head on to my other top 5 favorites of my top 10 best movie scores that reminded me of an orchestra. So let's get right to it. Coming at number 5 goes to the Phantom of the Opera theme from the 2004 version of the Phantom of the Opera. Now, this score is also pretty epic as well. And it took place around during at the beginning, close to the middle of the story, where the story is about to begin. You know, for all the things that happen when the Phantom of the Opera is causing a lot of trouble at the Opera House. But I really do love its epic tone, and I love its rhythm. It has a great edge to it. I think the best part about that this score is definitely that piano. A piano called the Recordia, if I remember right. Now that Recordia is pretty darn epic, and I think it fits well for that score. And I really do love this scene where everything's turning is black and white, but everything was going to turn to color, and this is where the Phantom of the Opera story is about to begin. Even the part where those two new managers are going to come back to the opera house and try to own that place, I guess. But it's really hard for me to say. So the Phantom of the Opera theme deserves to be at number 5. Coming at number 4 goes to the Duel of the Fates from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I know that everybody loves this score that John Williams made. That everything took place, where it all began for the Star Wars saga. Everybody loves the Star Wars theme. Well, as for me, I like it too. It's a pretty good theme, but I think it's way too overrated for my taste. But I'd rather prefer Duel of the Fates way better. I love Duel of the Fates. It is such a great score. It's very epic, it has a great edge, and it has a wonderful feel to it, and it will truly blow you away. I think the best part about that score I love from the Duel of Fates is definitely the choir. The choir did a fantastic job giving its great edge for one of the most underrated movie scores of all time, and truly one of the most underrated movies that the old great mighty Liam Neeson have ever made for the Star Wars prequels. And to tell you the truth, this, ladies and dudes, yes, I will admit I do like the Star Wars prequels. They are very enjoyable to watch, but I know everybody loves the original. So I don't blame them, so please don't beat me up or whatever. But yeah, I will say, yeah, the Duel of the Fates is definitely my favorite, and I'll never forget when they add a couple of pieces of the film here and there that added the score, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Duel of the Fates deserves to be at number 4. And let's head on to my top 3 most favorite scores that did remind me of an orchestra. And there'll be one of these scores that deserves to have a tiebreaker. So let's get right to it. Coming at number 3 goes to the funeral scene from Michael Collins. Another good underrated film that Liam Neeson have ever made. And also, this movie has a pretty underrated score. And this one's for you, Alex. I know you love this movie very much. And yeah, I still love this movie even to this day. I gotta go back and rewatch it again somehow. But yeah, the funeral scene was also a pretty epic score that has a good orchestra feel to it. I think the best part about the funeral score is definitely whoever this Irish person is. This Irish person who had a pretty good fast pace by playing the violin so fast. I never heard of a good score where a person can do a really good fast pace for the violin feel. It was so darn mind-blowing. It was so darn epic. It's so darn original. And I'll never forget that end is they just play the funeral scene for Michael Collins' funeral, and since he had died from an ambush and some assassin just shoot him on the head, if you know what I mean. If you guys have or haven't seen Michael Collins, it is a very underrated film. Please check this out. I rather prefer this movie way better than The Schindler's List, if you know what I mean. So the funeral scene deserves to be at number 3. Coming at number 2 is a tie. Just a tie from another movie I don't have in my collection is Princess Mononoke. And there's only 2 good scores that really did blow me away. One took place at the beginning of the film, and the other took place around like at the beginning of the near middle of the film. So for my number 2 tie is The Legend of Hashitaka or Journey to the West from Princess Mononoke. I love both of these scores. They are so darn epic in their own right. And I will say for The Legend of Hashitaka, the score is really about the life of Hashitaka and his story, and when he's journeying to the west to find a mysterious cure for his cursed arm, if you know what I mean. It was so darn mind-blowing, and that Joe guy, whatever his name is, he did a really good job of making so many good, interesting scores that came from all the Miyazaki films that he and Miyazaki had ever worked on for so many years. But I haven't seen Wind Rises yet, but I will see that really, really soon in the future, and I will do a movie review of it. I really love both of these scores. Oh yeah, for the other score, Journey to the West, the story is all about that score for itself. It's all about Hashitaka's journey. It's very nice, very edgy, has a nice, good tone to it, and yeah, it's all about Hashitaka's journey to the West to find a cure for his cursed arm. What else I could say? I will say both of these scores are very beautiful, very edgy, has a nice good feel to it, and it's all about the main character, Hashitaka. What else I could say about this cool dude? This guy blew me away for this movie. Princess Mononoke does have some flaws here and there. If you guys have seen my movie review of Princess Mononoke, if you know what I mean. So for my tiebreaker will be The Legend of Hashitaka or Journey to the West. They shared a tie at the number 2 spot. And finally, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my number 1 best score ever that did remind me of an orchestra. And this one is the most epic score of all. And it'll always be one of my most favorite movie scores of all time. And this score is truly a masterpiece. So anyway, for my number 1 best movie score ever in all of movie history goes to Lugia's Song, aka When the Legend Comes to Life from Pokemon the Movie 2000. Now this is the score I will never forget in movie history. This score had truly blew me away. It had a nice rhythm. It had a nice edge. It has fantastic instruments that fit so well for the score. This score will truly blow you away. It will blow your head, I guess. It is so darn beautiful in so many ways. And that scene for the score is all about where the prophecy had finally came true. Ash finally became the chosen one. He saved the world from total destruction. And that girl is going to play with her flute and, play Lugia's song. I mean, that scene really did blow me away, and it became one of my favorite near endings of all time, featuring with a very beautiful, epic score. I have nothing else to say about all this, ladies and dudes, but Lugia's Song, aka When the Legend Comes to Life, deserves to be my number 1 favorite movie score that sounded like an orchestra of all time. Just listen to the score to believe it. It will truly blow you away. Big time. And there you go, ladies and dudes. Those are my top 10 most favorite movie scores of all time. That kind of reminds me of an orchestra. I hope you enjoyed this list. And join me next time for my next top 10 list I'm going to do on Friday. I want to do my top 10 most favorite videos that I did so far in the year of 2015. I gotta go back and rewatch all my videos all over again, and I'll tell you about one of my most favorite videos that I did from this year. After all, we're just in a half of 2015, and we will head on to the other half of 2015 in the next 6 months, if you know what I mean, or somewhere around like 5.5, I don't know. So anyway, be prepared for my latest video to come out, and I'll see you all later. Sayonara.